What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and you check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on the Natasha Cloud, right? Uh, the Natasha Cloud is not with the New York Liberties anymore. And in my opinion, I think the New York Liberty are going to regret this. I like, even though she only played with them for that 1 year, I just like her with this team. She to me, she seems like she fit in. She fit in really well with the style of play that they play in New York. Now, I know that the Liberty, they had a big three. They have Breonna Stewart, John Quell Jones, and Sabrina Ionescu, right? But I just think that Natasha Cloud just brought a level of toughness that I think that that the Liberty are going to miss this year. So them not bringing her back and re-signing her, in my opinion, is just a big mistake. So, but I want to go over this article right here where it says New York Liberty GMs says unsigned Natasha Cloud belongs in the WNBA, right? And so I'm thinking if she belong in the WNBA, then why not sign her? Like I said, in my opinion, it's a big mistake, right? So the article says Natasha Cloud was only with the New York Liberty for one season, but the three-time all defensive guard made a lasting impact, which I would have to agree. Like I said, her veteran, her veteran experience and her intensity on defense, and even what the way she helps to run the offense, I thought was something that the Liberty really benefited from, right? Even so, Cloud 34 was on the outside, excuse me, on the outside when the Liberty made several big roster moves in free agency earlier this month. Understandably, New York prioritized re-signing its big three comprised of Breonna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, and Sabrina Ionescu to multi-year deals, right? The Liberty also, let me see, Sato Sably from the Phoenix Mercury and signed a three-time All-Star forward to a multi-year deal. Even with that being said, right? So, like I said, everybody knew that they was going to bring back the big three. That's not, she wasn't a threat to. It's not like could steal or compete with minutes from Sabrina Ionescu or Breonna Stewart or Jonquel Jones. She is a role player with a whole different responsibility to this team, right? And I just think that, in my opinion, I think it's a big mistake, right? So it goes on to say Liberty General Manager Jonathan Cobb explains why the Liberty opted against excuse me, why the Liberty opted against re-signing Cloud and defended her political and social activism when speaking with reporters early on Sunday, right? So I'm thinking that her political stances, kind of got in the way or was a deciding factor when it came to re-signing her. And also they say like money was also an issue. When it comes to Tasha, she's a phenomenal teammate, Cobb said. She's an awesome human being and a phenomenal basketball player. She belongs in the WNBA. So, and when they say stuff like this, yet they didn't sign her, I'm like, well, what else is going on here? Like maybe there's something else behind the scenes or that, that's not public that they're not saying. All right, what she stands for is what I stand for. I believe in speaking up for the voices. There's no better embodiment of it than Natasha Cloud, and she puts her life on the line every single day with saying what she believes. So I just wanted to get that out, right? So right there, I think this little paragraph right here, I think says it all. I think what it was is I think that maybe Natasha Cloud is too political. And I've said this too about some WNBA players, right? I think when it comes to sometimes like they use the WNBA platform for like their own personal beliefs and things that they stand for. and sometimes it's good, but then sometimes I think it's going to backfire on them. I think sometimes, like fans want to watch sports sometimes for like more of a outlet and a getaway, right? But then if you're constantly bombarded with different political ideas and political stances and stuff like that, I think it takes away from the sport. Um, I think it's a fine line between promoting different causes and standing for different causes, and I don't think that because the number one reason why you're there is to play basketball, right? Now, if this was something different, like your show, if she had a show or a podcast dealing with whatever political stance that she wanted to take, then that would be different. Then it'll be appropriate for her political stance and beliefs to be on the forefront. But basketball, and sometimes these WNBA players forget that like basketball is supposed to be on the forefront. So you can support political causes and let people know what you stand for, but you have to make sure that like basketball is on the forefront because that's what people tuning in for. They tuning in they tuning in to watch a basketball game. So I think some of her political stances played into the reason why she's not there. And sometimes, some of these WNBA players can be a little bit, they can be more controversial. Let me see. So what else do they say right there? So I just wanted to make it that clear. What really happened here for us isn't about fit. It was about our targets and free agency and condensed nature that we can see quickly things really moved, right? Quickly things were really on the move, but it also probably felt like it took a while to because let me see, we were in the dark on things, we were pursuing other opportunities, and it probably doesn't feel good. So basically, I mean, and this paragraph was like, he said a lot, but without saying anything. Because it don't explain like what were they in the dark about. Of course, you're trying to sign different players and stuff like that. So to me, it just boils down to I think that they thought that she would probably be too much of a distraction, right? And there are other players I think in the league too. Like they signed Sabatu, right? Sabatu, whatever her name is. She's somebody who has she has strong political stances also. So maybe they didn't want these two young ladies on the team at the same time. Um, so they went with a younger. I think Sabato is a much better player too than Natasha. And so yeah, man, I think I do think that Natasha Cloud will be back in the league though. I think what's going to happen is like a team will probably have like maybe a injury, and then she'll get called back up because if you remember, what's the other young lady, Kennedy Carter? Kennedy Carter was out for I think way too long, but now Kennedy Carter is back in the league. I'm trying to think who Kennedy Carter is with. But I know she's back in the league now, and which I thought that she probably should have been back sooner, or not even been out of the league at all. But a lot of these young ladies, man, just with their political stances and stuff like that, it just get in the way of basketball, and they don't allow basketball to be like on the forefront, right? And so yeah, hopefully Natasha Cloud will be back in the league, and that's all I got on this. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.